you know, either younger than us or, you know, passed and retired. So why not? You know, I want to challenge myself. The best always looking to fight the best and challenge themselves, you know, and why not, you know, challenge.
Terence Crawford can't beat him, right? This is a money grab for Terence Crawford. It's just a situation where Terence Crawford is trying to fill up his bank account opposed to actually his legacy.
But if you study Floyd closely, like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring.
During a live interview with Stephen A. Smith, Terence Crawford confirmed that he's accepted Floyd Mayweather's fight offer. Crawford said boxing, for him, is all about pushing limits and taking on the toughest challenges. He stressed that the best fighters should face each other, and he's ready to do just that. Speaking with calm confidence, Crawford made it clear that fighting Mayweather is his next chance to prove himself and go beyond what people expect.
Businessman, because this is Terence the businessman talking, right? They got to pay the cheddar to make it better, right?
For sure, for sure. All money ain't good money, so you got to know that.
Okay, fair enough. I hate to use the word easy, but at times it did feel like you were, you know, having a really easy time out there. Were you expecting it to play out that way?
Listen, it's never easy, you know.
Stephen A. Smith is known for speaking his mind, and when it comes to boxing, he doesn't hold back. He praised Terence Crawford for winning titles in 4 different weight classes, a rare accomplishment in today's boxing world. Smith pointed out that most fighters avoid moving up and down divisions because of the risk, which makes Crawford's success even more impressive. He said Crawford's ability to dominate at 4 weights proves he's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters ever. It shows not just his physical skill, but also his technical ability, mental toughness, and relentless drive to face tougher opponents.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab. He used his distance. He had poise in the ring. He wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept his different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
Roy Jones Jr., a legend who knows what it takes to dominate multiple weight classes, has praised Terence Crawford's skill in the ring. Jones noted that in Crawford's fight with Canelo Alvarez, he showed he could take lessons from fighters like Floyd Mayweather and Erislandy Lara, both of whom once gave Canelo serious trouble. What makes Crawford stand out, Jones said, is not just copying those strategies but adapting them to fit his own style. He studies his opponents, learns what works, and makes those techniques even more effective in real time. For Jones, this ability to adjust on the fly sets Crawford apart from fighters who rely on a single style and struggle against the best competition.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier and more meaner than both of those guys. So you know if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there, take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me, just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I knew from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot then, and he got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. You know, Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He did.
He got hit with some single shots going out. You know, he's going out, and you know Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you've watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
He smiled about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that smile can be a lie. And sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
The possibility of Terence Crawford facing Floyd Mayweather, even in an exhibition, has sparked heated debate. Some critics say a fight like this could hurt Crawford's legacy. They argue that after major wins, including his dominant performances against Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez, Crawford should focus on meaningful challenges rather than what they see as a money-driven spectacle. Mayweather's recent career has centered on lucrative exhibitions, not legacy-defining bouts, and some worry Crawford could be viewed the same way. Others disagree, saying Crawford's place in history is already secure. For them, a Mayweather fight wouldn't tarnish his reputation, it would just add another exciting chapter to his career.
For Terence Crawford, it's just a situation where Terence Crawford is trying to fill up his bank account opposed to actually his legacy. This is what was being said, right? This is what people perceived Terence Crawford was just attempting to cash out.